My name is Jennifer Grimes, and I'm an employment counselor at Second Chance Employment Counseling. Welcome to our LinkedIn workshop. Today we will review how to make your profile most effective and how to job search effectively using LinkedIn. This workshop is best viewed if you have your own LinkedIn account open on a split screen to follow along. Second Chance has 3 locations in Wellington County. 2 are in Guelph and 1 is in Fergus. We are also able to meet with clients in Elora, Rockwood, Erin, Mount Forest, Harriston, Palmerston, Arthur, and Clifford. We offer a variety of services for employers and job seekers, including resume and cover letter assistance, helping prepare for interviews, career assessments, and providing job postings, among other things. Our agenda today includes discussing what LinkedIn is and the benefits it can provide to your job search. We will discuss the dashboard, which is the bar at the top of your page, as well as making the most of your profile, job searching, networking, and how to build connections with employers. LinkedIn is a social network for professionals and job seekers. Whether you're a marketing executive at a major company, a business owner who runs a small local shop, or even a first-year college student looking to explore future career options, LinkedIn is for anybody and everybody who's interested in taking their professional life more seriously by looking for new opportunities to grow their careers and to connect with other professionals. There are a lot of ways LinkedIn can benefit your job search. First of all, recruiters and hiring managers are typically very active on LinkedIn. If you have applied somewhere and you're not on LinkedIn, it may make them wonder why. For example, are you not internet savvy? Basically, if you're looking for a job, it's expected you'll be on LinkedIn. Extensive job postings. If you're looking for work, you can take advantage of LinkedIn's job search engine. Many top employers are using LinkedIn as a way to find suitable candidates through job listings, and there are often many postings that are exclusive to LinkedIn. You can also join professional groups that include like-minded people. LinkedIn has thousands of online groups, which allows job seekers to network within their industries. You're also able to reach out to the people who have viewed your profile, as LinkedIn tells you who's been looking. This can help open the door when it comes to meeting new people and making important connections. For example, if someone you're interested in working with has viewed your profile, you can contact them, saying something like, "I noticed you viewed my profile. I'd love to chat." Making important business connections. You get to choose who to connect with on LinkedIn. This can include past and current coworkers, employers, and companies of interest. Receive and give endorsements and testimonials. LinkedIn allows your peers to endorse your skills and write up recommendations, and you can then do the same for them. People who are searching for networking connections or job candidates will take these recommendations into consideration. Dashboard is at the very top of your page and also where your search bar is. Your home page is where you see all of the posts and links from people and organizations you follow. Next is your network. You can see all of your connections, and you can also see suggestions for individuals you may know or may want to connect with. Under the job section, you can search for positions by title, skill, or company. You can also add the location where you hope to find work so you don't get postings from jobs in cities where you aren't interested in working. You can also set up job alerts so suitable opportunities get sent directly to you. Next is the Messaging tab. You are able to send messages to your contacts as well as to those you are interested in connecting with on LinkedIn. The Notifications tab alerts you to updates that are relevant to you. This can include when you get a message or when one of your contacts posts something. Lastly, the Me section is where you can manage things like settings and privacy and edit your profile. I'm going to start by looking at your profile, and we'll cover your picture, headline, summary, work experience, education, skills, and endorsements. Profile picture is the first thing people notice when reviewing your profile. Adding a picture increases your credibility, which will increase your responses. In fact, employers are 32 times more likely to overlook your profile if you don't have a picture, so don't forget to include one. To make sure you are picking the best picture for your profile. Use an up-to-date picture so viewers have a clear idea of what you would look like if they met you tomorrow. Make sure you are the only person in the picture and that your face takes up at least 60% of the frame. To do this, you can crop the picture from the top of your shoulders to just above your head. Use a high resolution image and take the picture in soft, natural light. If the picture looks a bit blurry when you upload it, you may want to opt for a different one. This may also happen if you try to take a picture of a picture, so it's best to take a fresh one instead. Try to have someone else take the picture versus using a selfie. First of all, it looks more professional and looks like you have put some thought into it. Secondly, having someone else take it will make your pose look more natural. Avoid distracting backgrounds. Where you take your picture matters. You don't want anything to distract from your face, so a simple background can help ensure that you're the focal point. However, that doesn't mean you have to be standing in a white empty space. Taking the picture outside in nature or against a painted wall can keep things simple without being boring. Right below your picture is your headline, and because of its location, it is one of the most visible sections on your profile. Not only does it stretch across the top of your page, it also introduces you on newsfeed posts, the People You May Know section, and LinkedIn job applications. As many people will be seeing this, you want to make the most of it in order to catch the attention of employers and recruiters. Keywords are important to include in all sections of your LinkedIn profile, including in your headline. These are the words and phrases that are common in your industry and profession. Hiring managers and recruiters will look for these in your headline before deciding whether or not to continue reading the rest of your profile. If these words are lacking, you could get looked over even if you have the skills they are looking for. Before writing your headline, review job postings and job descriptions to look for common words. You can also review company websites, regulatory bodies, as well as LinkedIn profiles from others in your industry. Like discussed on the last slide, start by making a list of the keywords and phrases that will get you noticed. If you choose not to make your own headline, LinkedIn will create one for you that only includes your job title and company. For example, it could say Web Developer at JobsCan. This can be a wasted opportunity to sell yourself, as it doesn't really say much about you and would likely not catch the eye of anyone. You can easily expand on this to include some other details and keywords. It could go something like this: Web developer at JobsCan, full stack engineer, front end specialist. This could then be followed by the programs you specialize in. Something to remember as well is to speak to the audience you're hoping to attract. Using keywords and being specific helps you to do this. If you are having some difficulty with this section or any of the others we will discuss, reach out to your employment counselor or staff for help. Here are some examples of successful headlines. You will notice that none of the individuals use the default headline provided by LinkedIn. These individuals are using keywords and phrases, including hard skills that they know employers will be searching for, which in turn makes them more effective. Your About Summary section gives you 2,000 characters to give an overview of your professional life. This section is below your LinkedIn headline. You can access it by clicking on the blue button that says Add Profile section. Here you are able to provide more information about yourself and what you are interested in. This will likely be the most read section of your profile, so let's make it count. Knowing what to include in your About section can be tricky. As mentioned before, you have 2,000 characters and have a lot of options on what to include. First of all, it is important to write your summary in the first person and to have some fun with it. People want to know a little bit more about you, and this is where you can describe to potential contacts and employers what your aspirations are and what your values and goals are. This is also the place to sell your skills and introduce the important experiences that you want to highlight. To get started, describe what makes you tick. Opening up about what you love to do adds context to your career. Think about what excites you most professionally. This could be an especially good place to start if you're younger and don't have a lot of work experience. Explain your present role. Don't just list your job title. Sharing the problems you solve and how you solve them is a great way to demonstrate your skills, industry knowledge, and work style. Framing your past. Put emphasis on the important parts of your career. If you've made career pivots or have held seemingly unrelated roles, try to connect the dots so they make sense. You may be able to explain this as an advantage and explain why it sets you apart. Highlight success. Talk about your biggest professional successes. This is especially applicable if you're in your mid to late stage career. Reveal your character. Choose stories and words that show who you are as a person, not just a professional. Authenticity is really important, so be honest with yourself. Think of the one trait you're most known for and weave it in. Show things you do outside of work. This can include a hobby, interest, or volunteer role. If you share a personal story, be sure it reinforces your professional strengths. Add rich media. It can be easier to explain yourself using an image, video, or article, so add these if applicable. Continuing on with how to write your about summary, make your first sentence count. Every word matters in your summary, but your first words really matter. If you don't hook your audience right away, they may lose interest. This means no, hi, I'm Jane Smith and I'm glad to meet you, and no, thanks for visiting. Don't waste precious characters on filler. Cut right to the good stuff to pull your audience in so they don't lose interest. Pump the keywords. Don't forget your keywords as they improve your search on both LinkedIn and Google. Listing specialties at the end of your summary is one way to include them. Limit the jargon. Avoid overused words and phrases that have lost meaning. Instead, explain how you have these traits by providing an example. Write how you speak. You want this section to sound like you, so use the first person when writing. Also, make sure you don't use special characters or emojis. Tell stories because they make you more memorable and interesting than just listing off your skills and traits. Create white spaces. People will skim your summary, so help by breaking up the text. Try to avoid long paragraphs and don't use a 5-syllable word when a 2-syllable word is just as good. Use bullet points or numbered lists, but make sure they flow well with the rest of the section. Ask for what you want. An invitation to connect is a great way to end, but depending on your goal, you may ask for something else. Be specific and you'll be more likely to get what you want. To summarize, open up this section with a catchy first statement to encourage readers to continue. Do your research ahead of time on what you want to include and what keywords will be most effective. Remember, this is not your resume, so try to show a bit of your personality so people can get to know you better. Brag about your accomplishments, particularly those that are relevant to your job search. This can feel uncomfortable sometimes, but remember, if you don't tell them, no one else will. Use as much space as you can and keep it readable with short paragraphs or bullet points so readers don't lose interest. This slide provides an example of an effective about summary. Please review it before getting started on your own. Here's another summary example if you need some more inspiration. Remember, you can always ask someone at Second Chance for help if you are struggling with this or any aspect of your LinkedIn profile. The next section of your LinkedIn profile is your work experience. People often make the mistake of copying and pasting their resume into their profile. Employers and recruiters are expecting to see differences because they serve different purposes. Your resume should always be targeted to a specific job, while your LinkedIn profile is more general. However, make sure you have the same job titles, dates, and basic information for consistency. Let's review some of the differences between your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Your resume needs to contain detailed descriptions of your job duties that are relevant to the jobs you are applying for. On the other hand, your LinkedIn profile should include more experiences and less details of those experiences. You may want to add something that isn't relevant to your resume, but shares a bit more about you, like freelance work or something similar. Your resume should not include any pronouns like I, we, our, etc., and should be more formal, while your LinkedIn profile should be written in the first person. Don't include any pictures on your resume in order to focus on your skills and experience. Your LinkedIn profile is a great place to include attachments, including videos and presentations to validate your skills. Also, always include a profile picture in order to be taken seriously. You start each job description on LinkedIn with a summary of your greatest achievements in the role. Using either bullet points or paragraph format is acceptable, so pick what works best for you. Here's an example of the paragraph format. This method is a way to fully explain your skills and qualifications under the job experience section while giving the employer an idea of what your salary expectations may be. The P stands for the problem you addressed. The example we use here is high labor costs. The A represents the actions you took. For example, you focused on cost reduction initiatives. The R represents the results of your actions. For example, reducing labor costs by 12%, overtime by 24%, and material waste by 43%. The S stands for the skills you developed. For example, managing and leading a team. The resulting bullet point could be managed and led a team of 6 in cost reduction initiatives that reduced labor costs by 12%, overtime by 24%, and material waste by 43%. Following work experience is your education section. You will want to describe your education and make sure that your most recent accomplishments are at the top. Try to include specific courses and experiences, especially those that are relevant to your job goals. You can also connect with classmates, colleagues, and former professors here, which builds your network with like minded people. As always, make sure to include as many keywords as possible. Following your education is your skills and endorsements section. You can start by making a list of all of your skills and experience and then choose those that are most relevant. Consider what traits an employer would be interested in and add those first. Endorsements are a great way to showcase your skills and abilities to those who are viewing your profile. You can add up to 50 skills, and these skills can be validated by your connections. These endorsements add validity to your profile by backing up your work experience. The best way to get endorsements is to give them. Typically, if you provide an endorsement to someone else, you will find they quite often return the favor. Thinking long term about your endorsements can also be a good strategy. You should make it a habit to connect with colleagues and clients you complete work with or projects with so you have up to date endorsements. Your skills and strengths will continue to grow with your career, and your endorsements should reflect that growth. To endorse someone's skills, scroll down to their endorsement section, find the skill you are looking for, and click the plus sign button beside it. In order to complete the endorsement, you will be asked a few brief questions. Hopefully, once the individual notices, they will return the favor. Recommendation is a statement that is written by a LinkedIn member to recognize or commend a connection, such as a colleague, business partner, or student. These recommendations act as proof that the skills and credentials on your profile aren't made up or exaggerated. To start, go to the profile of the first degree connection you'd like to recommend. Then you can click the More button at the top of their profile. Select Recommend and fill out the relationship and position and click Next. Write your recommendation in the message field and click Send. Requesting a recommendation is similar to making a recommendation. You will go to the profile of the connection you'd like a recommendation from. Then you click the More button at the top of their profile and select Request a Recommendation. Most recommendations are the result of the receiver requesting them, so don't be shy if you think someone can add value to your profile with a recommendation. You can start your job search by clicking on the Jobs tab on your dashboard. Next, click the Search Jobs field and enter keywords or a company name. You can also select from the job roles suggested by LinkedIn based on your qualifications and experience. Next, enter the job location that you prefer in the Search Location field. You'll be directed to the search results page where you'll see a list of job postings that suit your job role and location preference. Once you click on the job, you will see the description and qualifications as well as how to apply. There are two types of job postings on LinkedIn. First, there are those that are referred to as Easily Apply. These ones allow you to apply directly on LinkedIn. Secondly, there are some that direct you to a third-party website to apply. You can also see other related positions on the right-hand side that you may also be interested in reviewing. This slide provides a breakdown of what you can expect to see when you click on the Jobs tab. If you have any trouble navigating this page, please let us know so we can help you one-on-one. One of the best features of LinkedIn is the ability to grow your network and reach people you may not otherwise come in contact with. The first way to start to build your contacts is to connect with individuals you already know. This allows you to quickly increase your contacts and will also provide you with suggestions of others you may not have thought of. Next, follow groups and organizations you are associated with. Other people will recognize you, which can also build your contacts, and it shows your community involvement. Researching and sharing relevant articles shows others that you are interested in the industry. Here are a few tips when posting. Content matters. Share quality insights and fresh perspectives based on your knowledge, expertise, or observations. Share consistently. This helps build relationships. Start or join a conversation. Engage with your network by asking a question or sharing your point of view. Use relevant hashtags to indicate what your post is about. Hashtags are also searchable, which help your posts get discovered. Lastly, include a photo or video to help draw people in. Reaching out to employers and organizations is one of the reasons LinkedIn is so valuable in a job search. LinkedIn groups provide places for professionals in the same industry or with similar interests to share content, find answers, post and view jobs, and make business contacts. To find groups, you can type group names into the search bar and click search. Next, you can filter your choices on the search results page and filter the results by clicking groups on top of the page. Click the group name you're interested in to learn more. Click Request to join. Following companies on LinkedIn is an easy way to be tuned into what's going on in a company you'd like to learn more about and potentially work with. To follow an employer, you type the name of the employer into the search bar and click search. Click follow. To continue growing your network, you may want to follow some influencers. This can be a great way to keep up to date with news and trends that are relevant to you. Also, you can connect with schools and professional associations affiliated to your profession. Lastly, follow and reach out to employers that you are interested in. Do some research ahead of time before reaching out. You can request informational interviews to learn more about the company, the positions they tend to hire for, and educational requirements. Your next step is to build employer connections. Generally, it is best to try to connect with people that have some kind of link to you. This can include someone you have worked with or even someone that is in your industry or field. Oftentimes, people won't accept your request if they don't see any link at all. It can definitely be intimidating to reach out to employers, but it can be really helpful. A great way to do this is to reach out to a hiring manager of a position you are interested in. This will get you on their radar, and you may find them checking out your LinkedIn profile sooner than you'd expect. Next, always use manners and be professional. This is your first impression, so introduce yourself properly as you could be talking to your potential employer. Also, make sure you are writing a personalized message that indicates why you are trying to connect. A generic message is much more likely to be overlooked. Lastly, don't pester. If you've done all of the above and an employer still doesn't connect, it might be time to try someone else. Reminders. Don't post or comment negatively about anyone or any company. This can come back to hurt you professionally. Double check your spelling and grammar. If needed, ask a friend to review before saving. Avoid posting things that are unrelated to your professional goals. Avoid discussing politics in order to avoid offend anyone. Lastly, LinkedIn is an important part of your job search, but it shouldn't be the only part. Reaching out to people by phone and in person can be very helpful. These other strategies also help show you are taking initiative. Make sure you keep your LinkedIn account up to date and respond quickly to contacts and employers. Make sure you add Second Chance and contact us if you need help so we can help support you along the way. Thank you for attending our LinkedIn workshop. We would love to hear from you, so if interested, please share feedback by emailing info@secondchance.ca. For further assistance with LinkedIn or your job search, please contact us at one of the numbers on this slide. Thank you.